Hello, Internet. Welcome, welcome. My name is Todd, and we're going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. This is SideQuest Live. We are on I think we're on episode 4? I want to say episode 4. So we've been playing this new campaign. This is, we're calling it The Balance. However, as with most things in this game, I should do my vocal warm-ups. As with most things, I will take suggestions from the audience live. So if you're going to be joining us on YouTube or on Twitch, Wednesdays around 9 o'clock, so we're right on time right now, but you can always catch us live and make an influence in the game. You can make suggestions, we'll make it part of it. So if you don't catch us live, you can always catch us on playback on YouTube or on VOD on Twitch. But don't forget, we also have the audio podcast version. So shout out to those listening to us. I hope your workday or your commute or your tightrope walking, I don't know what people do when they're listening to podcasts, but whatever it is you're doing, I hope you are joining us from a safe and healthy and happy place. And if not, well, we're wishing you all the best. All right, so we're going to dive in and play some Dungeons and Dragons. All right, we're going to first meet the table. Let's go round. Hey guys, welcome back to the feed.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so we're gonna meet everybody. Tell us who you are. PIN number, social insurance, Wait, no. But we're gonna meet your characters and the lovely people joining us again. And unfortunately, a couple people couldn't be here today, but we're working on some special guests as well. So another time. But right now, we are at the core group. You guys are hardcore. So let's go around. Take it away. You guys can fight.
And we're fighting over it, eh?
Yeah.
Can I be passive aggressive and just wait?
I think you
Oh
just
no.
started.
Nothing like dead air.
Well, I'll start. Yeah, still here. I haven't left since last week. I've been sitting in this chair. Discord has been on for an entire 7 days straight. My ass is chapped. It's
Ooh, bed sores. Bed sores.
head sores, chair sores. Yeah, this gaming chair is it looks cool, but no.
Well, that's why you have the poop sock.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
You do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. It's I'm committed.
All right. That is commitment. Holy. All right.
Yeah. PIN number is 254371101011 87654656565111111. Part of that is true, actually.
Oh no. That's okay. If anybody wants to brute force hack, it'll take about the same length of time.
Yeah.
And who are you going to be joining us as tonight as we play the roles?
Yeah, it's Dex Techford, man. He's here. He's ready to go. He's
Dex.
I don't know what he's drinking and partying still.
I've got you somewhere. Oh, all the screens are messed up. I'll just stay on this one. So what class and character what does he look?
Yeah.
What is he doing on a random Thursday,
Well,
Wednesday?
After the party, he's the kind of guy that he looks out for his mates, but he's also kind of a klepto, which he's very, very good at. Being the world's largest cat burglar, the Goliath rogue. So he carried at least one of his team members all the way back to their rooms at the inn there.
Yeah,
through somebody
so
and
you won
somewhere.
Yeah, you won
I
the
think
big
we're
contest.
staying wherever we're staying.
Yeah, where do
Yeah,
you guys want to stay?
yeah.
You could go back to
Well, I'm talking
Tien's
like the
place.
day after, right? Because I've been here for 7 days. I haven't left.
Oh, fair enough.
Thinking about it.
Both in character and
Committed.
out.
Yeah. So the next morning at that party, after we had won, our characters had won the tournament there and got the glowing orb of who knows what. We
You weren't actually supposed to keep that. You
No.
did get the prize, but now
no, we didn't keep it.
well,
We'll
see.
I didn't keep it. I kept some other things. Yeah.
And some of your teeth. You did keep some of your teeth.
He kept some of his teeth, and he's been pickpocketing anyone, he possibly can, stealing things off the walls.
All right,
as
I'm
per
just
usual.
curious to see
Yeah.
how well that goes. So it's going to be the first roll of
Yeah.
the night. Let's see,
Yeah.
sleight of hand check.
Okay, well, you can do a sleight of hand check right away. Why not?
Let's do it.
Sleight-
Part of the character
sleight of
description.
Part of the character description is natural 19 plus 7.
Oh,
26.
damn.
Slightly handling things.
You've got, well, what is it, the weirdest thing that you've got some gold and copper and silver, but what's the weird thing that you've got?
Oh, definitely there was a fish mounted on the wall that he has stuffed into something somewhere.
It is
That's
in your
coming.
codpiece. Literally, it's
Yeah.
a cod as a codpiece.
Yeah, it's a world record cod piece. It's a cod piece.
On a Goliath. So
Yeah. And then, a couple of small coin purses, obviously, because he can't not. If it's hanging out there, I mean,
if
how
your
can
coin
you
purse
not?
is hanging out there, you're gonna get it just
Yeah.
pinched.
Yeah. If there's any way he could get a painting, he would steal a painting. I don't know if that. I mean, I'll leave that one up to you. But if he could, he would try at the very least.
Okay, you know what? With a natural 19, you have a painting. You were like, who needs the frame? You just break the frame.
No, you roll it up and you. Yeah.
Oh no, this
Down.
one's like a cape.
The cape under his cape. Yeah.
You got it. So, yeah, you've got that keeping you nice and warm. And it's been a few days. I do want you to roll a Constitution saving throw for me.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
See if the
how's-
cod piece comes to his nose.
That comes out as a 17 plus 2, 19.
19. All right. So you are just fine, sir. Your kidneys and your liver are doing all that they need to do, and you are fine. You are suffering no ill effects from either getting beat to or during the competition or from the partying afterwards. So life is good. God, I miss being younger.
He's not, though. See, he is 60-something years old, right?
Damn.
His liver is twice the size of a normal Goliath liver. I mean, this is part of what's going on here.
It's bad when the liver
got a-
swells, man.
Got a
Did you
lifetime
know
of
that?
practice. What's that?
It's a bad thing when the liver swells.
Yeah,
That's-
well, it's
All right.
You gotta, yeah. You gotta
All right, so
challenge
that's-
yourself.
Absolutely. Okay, so that is what Gex has been up to. So thank you very much. Now we're going to jump back over to Tillman, played by none other than the green-clad, the Carl.
How's it going, guys? Carl here. Glad to see everyone back on this fine Wednesday evening. Unlike Steve, I have not been in my chair for 7 days.
Thank
Yes.
God.
Freshly minted. I will be continuing to play Dave Tillman. He's a Twilight Cleric with an angry secret. Not follow
It's
on
got
the-
a temper.
Well, he might.
We'll see.
He might.
Every once in a while, a blood vessel goes in his eye, and nobody really knows why.
Well, I decided to hang out a little bit with Gex there, and he's a sparing guy. So shared his rooms with Hilda, and apparently she couldn't take it.
Oh boy.
So he's been spending the past 2 days on a fucking munchie bend, and just chatting up the locals, and just seeing what's up.
Nice. Just for fun, later on, we're gonna do a cut to, and we're gonna do a little side game called Hilda's Bad Trip,
Hmm.
and we're gonna see if we can magic of editing insert that right now.
And that is Tillman, my friends.
Nice.
That's what he's been up to post gauntlet.
Very cool. All right, thank you. And let's keep going around the circle. Oh, hold on, Tillman. I am going to need a Constitution saving throw from you.
All right. Let's do this. Oh.
Yep, that's not the
best.
button. That is not the button that I want on him. Okay. Ooh, that's surprisingly low for you. Okay.
It is.
You must have
is.
grown a bit of a bad batch, my friend. So it wasn't just Hilda. Something mixed, and it was oof. Ooh. Let's just say we need a random effect for you. So let's just say, can you roll? Let's roll a d6. Let's roll a d6 and just see. Ooh, a 5. Okay, so within 5 feet radius of you, there is a very strong, pungent smell. And you lost a little time at one point, and you keep a clean, tidy shell most of the time. But something weird, well, not, I mean, besides all the stuff you grow on it, but...
Cod, isn't it? Fucking cod.
The cod hadn't been... he needed somewhere to put the innards. And it's, he just tucked it in the back, like if you were to hoodie somebody, just throw something in a hoodie, but it's in your shell, in a spot you can't reach.
Oh, man. This is...
So you have a very distinctive odor for a 5-foot radius. All right. Now, without further ado, we're going to jump over and meet our last player for the night. It is Gordon. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Gordon playing Rook, who is actually using his time from winning the event to actually do what he wants to do. The gauntlet was really more of a means to an end. I think where we last left off, he was caught by surprise. He was speaking to his buddy Angel and others, and then he realized that Tillman could also see him.
That's right. Your
And yeah,
apparitions, I guess we'll call them. And suddenly,
my friends.
in the midst of his crazy trip, just tripping, Tillman saw.
Yeah.
You.
So he's
we'll
taking note of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You also happen to cut over in that sequence after we had that beautiful scene. Check it out last game if you haven't seen it. But after that, you're just like, can anyone see them? And you turn over to Hilda, and she's just like, and she starts hissing at Tien, and the barkeep just takes her and just steers her off, trying to get her to go upstairs. It's okay. I'm good. I'm good. And then the next thing she remembers is dangling from a flagpole 70 feet in the air. But we'll do that later. That's now canon, though. I don't know how we're going to figure that out. Why do I do this to myself?
So, I mean, he is a little bit put off, but also in some ways happy that, like, he's not gone crazy. And he also realizes that Tillman is about to go on a bender, so lets him do his thing. He's not, like, Rook isn't going to drink that much. He's going to have a spare social drinking. He really actually wants to meet and greet potential recruiters, people that for jobs. He knows that while it could be a coincidence, Lord Greg Turnbull could be related to the Pierre Turnbull that Harnissa mentioned, who had hired the Black Sparrows to try to find the artifacts. So he's interested in kind of, without being too nosy, seeing if the name drops, and he wants to socialize with potential people that who've seen the gauntlet, seen how we want to hire us for gigs. And he's actually also interested in potentially meeting some of the other competitors, the ones that are not upset, just to get a better understanding of who they are, where they're from. He's really just kind of trying to make himself known and build out a bit of a network, which is what his whole aim was to begin with the gauntlet. So where everyone else is going on a bender, he's actually on a mission.
Nice. All right, I'm going to ask you to do let's do a charisma, something charisma based. Let's go persuasion check.
Persuasion check.
See how well you network. Roll for friendships.
Oh.
Wow.
Damn.
I can't see it because it's green screened out on here for some reason. I gotta fix that. But that is
Oh,
a
no,
natural
that was
20.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Nice
Yeah.
job, sir. I gotta
Gotta
fix that
like-
apparently. Damn. All right. So, you end up taking stock of the whole situation. You get business cards. People are like paying for your drinks, and you're like, and you're passing them over to people who happily take them. Hilda mostly ends up taking the lion's share of those, and you begin a network of names. So you run into a whole bunch of people that you're like clocking that this could be really useful. This could be very good. And so basically you actually have, I'm going to say, advantage on your next social encounters with all of these individuals based on your first impressions and the way you network, and you really get out that impression that you are available for hire, you're the big name in the city, and you really leverage that win to your maximum. In particular, you get a series of pretty good leads for some jobs coming up, and I'm gonna say you get the whole list. So there are 4 individuals in particular who are looking for immediate oh, that's the wrong button. Laughter. They're looking for some worthy mercenary folk who might be able to handle themselves. And so you get the name Zim. You get the name Brill. You get the name
Sorry, Brill or Brill?
Brill. So it's Bryl.
Okay.
You get introduced by Turnbull because he's come on, let's go. Come on, I'll introduce you around. And so he does the rounds, and he introduces you to all kinds of useful individuals. And so that's how you met most of these people. A couple of them introduce themselves as well. There is one of them by reputation. He's not part of the Sparrows, but he is known to walk in the circles of thieves and shadier folk. Somebody by the name of Reetyl, and it's spelled Reetyl. Apparently I was on a Y kick.
Wow, so Zim, Brill, and Reetyl.
And then at the very last minute, Turnbull's like, "Oh, hey, you've got to meet him. Let's go. Calvin, come on in. I'll buy you a drink. I'm just kidding. He doesn't drink, but come on in. Yes, young man, this is Calvin. He's got a stick up his ass that's at least as long as a spear I have. However, he's a good sport. And this is an elven gentleman dressed in kind of holy person robes. Very, very regal seeming, although it doesn't seem super wealthy per se, but, definitely upper crust. And at the moment, when you actually met him at different places, Turnbull took you around a few different pubs. So you met him in one of the underground, not too far from where you fought, actually, in one of those kind of more stately kind of off rooms of this underground pub of Turnbull's. And internet, I'm going to need a name for that if you get the chance. But Calvin definitely has an air of being a bit more noble than the other people that you happen to run into. And Brill is he's a dwarf, and he's got, but he's dressed very fine. But you quickly work out that that's mostly a facade. He wants to walk in those circles, but he's actually a little bit like, and that's Brill. All right, so those are your most promising leads, plus Turnbull himself. And I'm going to say that the moment comes up when you get to ask, you feel like the moment is right. You could ask Turnbull about this coincidental name. Let's cut to that. Go for it. What do you want to say?
Okay. So I guess it's kind of towards the end of the night, and we're chatting up people. I'm speak with him, and I'll just kind of mention how I'm just wondering, like, Turnbull. That name sounds familiar. Are you related to like a guy named Pierre?
I'm going to say that as part of your charisma check, you're also reading people. And in that moment, there's a moment of, he's been very jovial most of the time. I mean, you guys made him a fair chunk of change. But in that moment, he kind of does a little, yes, well, every family has its black sheep, You don't think and a gentleman like myself, esteemed by nobles, but running the best show in town, the greatest theater, the theater of life and death. But Pierre was, well, let's just say, he got himself in a bit of trouble. And ended up leaving here for some time. He's returned now. Apparently it's all cleared up. I had to... What are brothers for?
Yeah. Fair enough. Didn't know the guy, but I think I knew some people who knew some people who, did a job or two. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah. If you know people who know Pierre, you are one to watch out for, possibly.
Well, I like to have friends in high places, and sometimes I have friends in low places.
You should write that down.
Oh, shit.
Well, if you're looking for Pierre, I could arrange things, but he hasn't been around for a little while.
I mean, I don't want to put you off, right, when it comes to, like, getting into family stuff. If there is, I mean, the only thing I can think of is I knew some people who were doing some, going down in the beneath the city looking for buried treasure. And I will admit, I did one job or two myself, and that's how I knew the people that ran into him.
Yes, well, Pierre has been known to bite off more than he can chew. Well, I, at my heart, am an entertainer, but he had ambitions. Well, if I hear from him, maybe I'll put in a good word. Last I heard, he was heading inland. Some kind of business. Anyway, congratulations, young man. If you need me, I will be over there. And he points over to, like, a cadre of various people who kind of, a bunch of people, and he kind of waves and they laugh, and he quickly kind of leaves your side for a little while. Is there anything in particular else that you're looking for from him?
Nothing in particular from him. I just kind of wanted to understand the connection with Pierre, and it seems not a strong connection anymore, or at least he's kind of waving it off.
You know what? Do an insight check for me. We'll see.
Yeah? Okay. Insight. 18.
18.
18.
He definitely knows more than he's letting on.
Uh-oh.
But...
Interwebs. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no. Are we interweaving?
No, it was only for a moment.
Okay. So he does seem to know more than he's letting on, but he's also it's a little bit tender. He kind of deftly steered away from that and around it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, so the evening passes, or the several evenings pass. You wake up with your codfish stuffed down your pants, like you do. And the day is yours. You find yourselves back where it all started. You're back in the inn where Tien has offered you some stays. Although she kind of comes. Actually, it's one of the serving boys. The guy who was in the kitchen comes up, and you kind of come to looking at as he comes in the rooms. Oh, sorry. I thought the room was empty. Do you need anything? And that's to Rook.
So I'm probably just
You're-
sitting in a corner,
Yeah, you're like,
right?
oh, right, you weren't
Do
sleeping in the bed.
Nope.
So that's why he got right in the room and then noticed you, and you just scared the just like full jump scare.
And I'll just say, no, I'm good. Just was chilling out.
Oh, all right. Tien was looking for you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay.
The wayfish little guy. He's probably like 15, 14. Goes running out of the room. Meanwhile, the rest of you are waking up in your respective rooms. Gex just sprawled out on the big double bed there. And Tillman, you're in a bit of a state. I'm gonna get you to do a dexterity saving throw, please.
I got the same as my last saving throw, except this one's -1.
All right. So that's all right. Well, you find yourself awake, and you're not stuck or anything, but it takes you an extra long time to get out of the bed because for some reason you got wedged in such a way that like your shell kind of got wedged between the frame and the wall, and you're just like kind of do the turtle stuck on your back thing for a little bit, and then after a while it's really tough for you to get out, and you just like you're just tired of it. You brace both feet on. Well, what do you want to do to get out of there? You appear to be mildly stuck.
I rock back and forth until I'm free.
Sure, go ahead and do a strength check for me, or athletics if you have it.
I do. Really? Jesus.
You are
9.
good and wedged, my friend. Now, I don't know if you want to be humbled and do that, or if you want to try again, or
I'm
you
gonna
know
try
what?
again.
I'm gonna if you want, you could try to just you could try a little harder.
I'm gonna try a little harder.
Are you feeling frustrated?
Not yet.
Okay. So the DC is going higher as you're trapped by a. Oh, come on. We've all been there on a Monday.
There you go.
You managed it. You're just like, and you feel this bubbling frustration, but then you tamp it down. And you brace both feet expertly.
Did some of the inners fall out?
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, you leave a little trail behind you on the bed. You're like, oh dear. Some of the fish innards just lead, and you flip back over and land on you, and you're good. All right. The day is now yours. You are all in this, the inn, and it's what was it again? The Wild Buck, the Inn of the Wild Buck, and the day is yours. What do you want to do?
I think the first thing I'm gonna do is, I guess, go to Tien. She wanted to speak with me.
Yeah, after a little while, it takes you a little bit to get ready, and then you head on down and talk to Tien. She's a half elf, a middle-aged woman, kind of getting a little bit on, but not too bad. Little frazzled, her hair kind of strawberry, kind of brown and graying in places, tied back in a loose bun, and she's run around very, very busy this morning. The whole inn seems to be pretty busy, certainly more busy than you've seen it before. So there's quite a few people sitting at various tables. Notably, there are a handful of people that you actually you recognize them almost right away as some of the people that you had been chatting with before.
The bar
And
has regulars.
yeah, bar has the regulars. She sees you walk in and gives you a pause, and she then goes and takes a hold on, I'm just gonna hide that one.
Is Garrick there?
Garrick is not actually. Well, do you want him to be?
No, I'm just asking.
Oh, well, you come stumbling down the stairs, just kind of holding your head, and the Tillman does, and you kind of look for him out there, and there's no sign of him. Rook's down, finally gets a word in with Tien, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have my voice. Hold on. I gotta get the thing. Gotta get the thing. Gotta get. I'm out of practice here. Here we go. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, welcome back. The land of living. Apparently, you're quite the hero. A couple people were asking after you.
Oh? Who's asking about us?
Boy, I gotta get
Yeah,
that
don't want to
hotkey
be.
going. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Call me flattered and nervous.
So Tien kind of nods down towards the bottom booths that you can see down there, and three of the, well, actually, at first it looks like two of them are occupied, but you're a pretty keen study when it comes to noticing people who are instinctively don't really like being noticed. And so you actually do clock that there was the person in the far booth as well. And you recognize at a glance Zim, who's a human, pretty much almost fully bald on top, and kind of wearing dark leathers. He seems to be most weathered of the bunch that you met. And then you also see Brill sitting there having his breakfast pint. And he's sitting there with a scroll, kind of absentmindedly reading it. But you do clock that there is a dagger on his hip and in ready reach, and a sack of a few tools and other things next to him. And then in the far corner, you do spot Rital, who was he is the most nondescript of them by just plain old practice. And at first you don't really notice him much, and then you just see that he's taking everything in. You lock eyes with him for a few seconds as well.
He's a human?
Yeah, he's a human. Just wearing dark clothes, kind of very, I'm a thief, but I don't really want to be noticed.
And they're all sitting in separate booths?
Yeah.
Or are they together?
No, they're all in
Okay.
separate booths, kind of occupying it up. It actually looks like Zim is probably, like, he looks about the same as Gex. Not Gex, as Tillman comes checking out the place. And Gex, are you still in your room, or you're coming down and joining?
Oh, he'd be down for sure.
All right, go ahead and move
So-
yourself down wherever you want to be. And
Which one has the fresh scroll? The scroll?
wait, which one? Oh, the scroll?
which one?
That was Brill, the dwarf.
Can you point him out on the?
He is, yeah, sure. He's this one. He's well dressed though, like really, really. He's got a very nicely cropped beard that kind of tufts out. It's short though. He hasn't grown it long. He kind of wearing a little frilly cravat, like a, the puffed lace thing, and a nice fancy frill coat. But he also like has a bit of grime about him, and His hands are much weathered and encrusted with old dirt that just won't quite wash out.
Hey man, is that the Daily Scroll? Where do you get it?
I got it from outside. There's a crier going through. You want? I'm almost finished.
Yeah, man, that'd be nice. Thank you.
Pull up the chair. Have yourself a
All right.
breakfast beer.
What
Saw
can I
you
get
last-
you, man?
I saw you last night at the party.
Oh, yeah, that was a party, man.
You can join my booth. That's fine. Grab a seat. He motions across.
Well, he did offer the seats, so I said
did?
no.
Yeah. Yeah, but you started sitting in the booth across, and he made
Seeing
note
this,
of it.
I'm just gonna do a hand sign to Gex and just basically saying potential contacts. Maybe we speak one each.
That's right.
Okay.
Split the party.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Point me in the direction. I will go to there.
Okay.
Oh. I guess so. It's Zim, Brill, and Riedel, right? So maybe I'll speak with Zim,
Sure.
and I'll point Gex towards Riedel.
Absolutely. So, you take kind of whatever's offered from Tien. She's got some morning gruel if you want it. Otherwise, breakfast beers it is.
Hey, both. You know.
Not gonna eat.
Okay.
I
Just
mean,
kinda-
beer has been fermented, you know, so the alcohol it's going to kill off any waterborne bacteria. So, probably the safest thing to drink.
I mean, there's a reason the Egyptians used to pass that around. So absolutely. So you go kind of take stock and head to your respective booths and make contact. So Gex, we'll deal with you first as you go walking across. You clock Riedel, and he kind of, even before you get too close, he does the little motion of greeting, come talk, but in thieves' cant. He's not being subtle about it.
Ah, morning. Didn't I see you where I saw you when I saw you there?
Yes. Nice fight last night, or a couple nights ago.
Yeah. Well, you
You-
know, it all blurs together for me sometimes too. I get it.
You were,
Yeah, what do you
you
yeah.
took quite the hit.
Well, you know, gotta stay in shape, right?
Well,
It's, you know,
you're still in good shape.
well, all my parts are still here, so I can't complain, I suppose. Yeah, nothing a good night's sleep won't fix.
Yeah.
What brings you down to the old wild
Well,
on this morning?
since you're of the trade, let's just say I'm looking for somebody. Not you, no offense.
No one's ever looking for me. I'll keep it that way.
It was good. You can handle yourself.
Who are you looking for?
Oh. Looking for my niece.
Okay. What's her name? Give me a description. Maybe we ran into each other recently. I've kind of been about town the last few weeks.
Teresa's her name. She, she's in the trade. Gets herself a little bit in over her head sometimes, so I just like to look out for her. My sister crawls up my ass.
I don't have any siblings, so, you know, I wouldn't know, but, you know, I know.
Somebody's gonna be crawling up your ass. It's the way of the
Would
world.
would he know her? Yeah, can I roll to see if I've seen her?
Sure, go ahead and do a history check.
History check with the dice. 15. Yeah.
How
Plus
about
2,
this?
15.
You get a description. Pretty nondescript. Human, blonde, you know, of just kind of late teens, early 20s. And then I will let you decide if you know her or not. With a 15, you
What was
could...
what was her name again? Sorry.
Therese.
Therese. I'm gonna spell it the weirdest way possible. Um, yeah, it kind of rings a bell. I think I might have seen her at a party uh, on the shore 6, 7 days ago. There were some young kids there wearing weird colored clothing. They were playing around with these like torches on the end of strings, swinging them around at night, doing some kind of odd gyrating dancey stuff while some random other dudes were sitting in the corner playing drums, and some guys were doing this weird singing from like in the chest, and then someone else had a flute. There was another guy with like a 6-string lute, and then there was a few people just seemed to be passed out, but somehow smiling the entire time. Blonde, right?
Yeah.
Just past her teens. There's
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah,
of kids like her, but she kind of stood out because she had some feathers in her hair, right? And
Yeah, that's her.
yeah, long black skirt with a
6 days
kind
ago,
of
huh? That trail's
yeah.
pretty cold, but I appreciate the heads up. Yeah,
I
she was
will tell
supposed
you though that those kids did invite me to a party, which that was 6 days ago. A couple
Yeah.
nights from now.
Perfect.
Supposedly, kind of on the other end of the harbor.
You seem to
yeah.
have his attention now. He's like, really? Really? Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
now at least
I
I can
don't
tell Sarah to
honestly
stop bothering me.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I don't have any siblings, but I do have my own kids.
So right
So,
about at that particular moment, kind of a slightly more upper, like not upper echelon, but slightly more wealthy gentleman comes in, and you both just watch as the coin purse walks by, and you're distracted. You actually have seen this guy before. His name was Calron. He was the one who posted the announcement. But this time he comes in without guards, and he kind of starts walking over, going to talk to Tien. But you see Retel just kind of look at him, and like, kind of whistles through his teeth and goes, Yeah, I might be busy, Ome. Hey, could you do me a favor? If you see Therese, you tell her to contact her uncle, like, ASAP. I can make it worth your while. It saves me running all around town.
well, if I see her, let's, yeah, if I see her. Where can I find you?
You can put in word with Tien. She knows how to reach me. Old friend.
Fair enough.
But, if you track her down, we could give you 25 gold or something.
She ran away. Her parents local? Does she live with you? Where'd she run
Oh,
away?
yeah.
Why are you looking for her?
Yeah, she's just got her mom. And, yeah, she's always getting in trouble, so sister asked me to look out for her. So I do, and make sure she gets in the right kind of trouble.
Does
She's
she
done
make
some
her
jobs.
own way?
Yeah, she can hold her own a little bit, but, still
Okay.
gotta look out. Anyway, I'm gonna go relieve that pompous looking of his overabundance of coin.
I will enjoy watching you do that.
All right, so he goes off and just kind of lines up his shot, as it were, and you just see him. And he goes to pickpocket, and as he bumps into him, doing the whole shoulder chuck thing as he's going past, and the guy turns at the last second and just grabs the guy's wrist and is like, "You do not want to do that." Hey, no. And he basically just kind of bum rushes him out the door, out the front, and you all just watch the show. And apparently Calrun, sorry, I didn't say Calrun. Riedel does, he whips his hand out and just makes himself scarce out the door. It was good morning entertainment. All right, meanwhile, over at the other table, Rook, you've made your way over to sit down with Zim, and he gives you a nod, motions you over. Very, standard greeting type. And what do you want to say to him?
I'm just going to say, hey, good morning. I think you might have mentioned to Tien that you wanted to speak with me. We met, right, a couple nights ago.
Yeah. I've been looking for people. Maybe people like you. You managed to hold your own in there, so I'm looking for some crew. Truth be told.
What kind of crew you looking for? What kind of job?
I'm a captain. Need put together a crew to head out to the Isles. If you don't get seasick, could offer you something. Cut of the loot, cut of the cargo, whatever comes first.
I mean, that's interesting. I'll be honest. I've never been part of a crew on a ship before. Don't think I'd get seasick though, but that's intriguing.
Well,
you guys looking for what? Treasure or something? Or delivering something?
Well, we're delivering something. We're heading out to the Spines.
Okay, when are you guys going?
We should be leaving by week's end, depending on the tides.
And is this like an offer for me, or is this like an offer for me and my strange acquaintances? Haha.
Well, you just do me a favor and say hey to Tillman for me, and offer goes for everybody if you want.
Okay, yeah, I'll speak to Tillman, see if he wants to get back on the waves.
Tell him Zim sent him. Mutual acquaintance pointed him out.
Alright.
Okay, will do.
All right. Well. So the time passes. You guys get a chance to compare notes, and you kind of find your own way to your own table for a bit. And yeah. So you've heard a couple of things. You've gathered that Brill. Oh, actually, sorry, we didn't finish with Brill. So back to Gex.
Oh, okay. Tillman, maybe.
Yeah. So Tillman's hanging out with Brill and cuts back to that, and he's like, "All right, so you got skills, I hear."
Yeah, I get by, man. I get by. I can handle myself.
You're
looking
I'm
for
looking
something,
for
man?
people who might need to be able to handle themselves a little bit. Could that be you? Maybe
Tell
some of
me
your
more,
mates?
man. Tell me more. What's bugging you, my friend? What's bugging you?
Well, hard to find good people these days, and people that used to work for me. Like that skedaddle took off with it. Whatever. But it's beside the point. I need somebody to get something for me. Could be a little bit dangerous, but I saw that you could handle yourself.
Yeah, what kind of danger are we looking at, man?
Well, nothing as much as a gauntlet, I'll tell you. Well, mostly just
yeah.
crawling through the dark. You're not afraid of the dark, are you?
Oh, no, not me. No, I love the dark.
Fantastic.
But, man. It's gonna be a long trip, though, man.
Yeah, probably better part of a week. Bit out of town, but not that far. Digging in the dirt, as it were. Underneath all of this, it's much older. Look at this. And he pulls up this chunk of stone out of his bag, and you can see in his bag he's got a lantern. He's got a kind of a folding shovel thing that goes together with like an apparatus. And he pulls out a bag of some various rocks, and they look like old tiles. It's like, you wouldn't believe what's been buried in here. This ancient city, the meeting spot for centuries. There's plenty of stuff down there to be found.
Alright.
take the risk, though.
And what am I getting for you if I were to take this, man?
Well, I'm looking for something in particular. But besides that, let's see. Do a 70-30 split of whatever you find. Plus, I can give you a bit of equipment to make sure you have a better chance of coming back.
70-30 for me, man? That sounds awesome.
Aye,
Tell
but
you
I'm going
what.
to keep the thing that you're looking for.
Yeah, man, you haven't told me what that is, but you know what? Let me go talk to my friends, man. We'll see.
All right.
Can't promise you anything, though.
You know where to find me.
All right, man. Can I keep the scroll? I just want to find out what's happening in town, dude.
Aye.
All right, righteous. All right, man. Enjoy your beer. Talk to you later.
All right. So you step away, and you guys have a chance to compare some notes.
I guess we're gonna huddle. Hey guys, so I guess we each had a conversation with a contact with a potential gig. Gex, how did yours go?
Yeah, all right. But where's Hilda, by the way? Anybody seen her?
I think she's still passed out upstairs.
Kind of worried about her. I carried her home the other night, and I didn't see her at all yesterday either. I just assumed she was sleeping it off, but I mean, like, it's a whole day and a whole night and another night and a day and.
Oh man, that might be my fault, dude. Sorry, man. I want to help her out. I must have just put a wrong mushroom. You know how it is in her plate. And oof. For those that are not used to it, man, knocks you out for a couple.
Listen, I want to share with you what I found out, and I want to hear what you found out. But I think she should sit in on this. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right,
Gex jumps up.
Yeah.
Runs upstairs. Knocks on the door.
No response.
Hilda! Still alive in there? Yeah, I'm gonna open the door, pick the lock if I have to.
Of course, you picked it.
Check her out.
She fully dressed, she's still got her basic equipment. Basically, she's exactly where you put her down, and she's just sitting there like drooling on the pillar, her red hair kind of all over the place. It looks like she's got like a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow going, and she's still kind of just like gently like rubbing the pillowcase, and she's just like, emeralds.
Okay, come on. You gotta come. We're having a chat. Kind of need you. I'll just kind of like put my arm under her, scoop her up, assuming she's totally still delirious.
You think you got any
Or
bacon?
my shoulder, put my arm around like under her arm. Okay, let's go. Come on. Drag her downstairs.
All right, so you now have the semi-conscious Hilda with you, and she goes. She's happy to go, and she actually occasionally chirps up with a,
Hey, you guys are funny.
and when you get down there, you put her next to you in the kind of the center table there, and the rest of you are like, all right, you're all here, and she's just like,
I'm not putting myself anywhere where she can barf on me.
Mm.
and she's just staring over your right shoulder there, Rook.
Hey, Hilda, man, I gotta ask you, man, did you take the red shroom or the blue shroom?
Both?
Oh, man, you're in for a nasty trip, my friend.
Here,
She reaches up and she's just playing with your lower smooth Tortle lip. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's here. I mean,
I'm
All right.
here, can we get a drink? Bowl, while she's, oh, I don't know, bring it anyway. Just give me a pint of that. Yeah, no, that. Right, thanks. Bring it over.
All right. Drinks arrive. You guys can have a little chat. What do you want to do?
Okay, now that, well, most of her is here, I had a chat with, what was his name, Riedel? Seems like a nice enough fellow. Not great pickpocket. But he asked me if I'd seen his niece, someone named Tyrese. I don't know. Tyreece, I think is how he spelled it. But anyway, she's, I think I did see her. Asking, if we see her, if we find her, a bit of a reward to bring her back to mommy and daddy. But, that's about it. He didn't really have much else for us. Told him I'd keep an eye out. What'd you guys do?
Well, a little bit better than finding some kid who's playing hooky. Zim, apparently Zim, he might know you, like, through acquaintances, but he's looking for a crew by the week's end to join him on some type of expedition to transport something. Could be treasure, I don't know. It's something. I'll be honest, never been on the water, in the open ocean at least, and I'm not so sure about it, but it's something. How about you, Tillman?
Well, man, I don't know. I think I got something that might be up your alley there, Rook. This fancy guy, learned dwarf there, is looking for something special in some ruins out of town, and wants us to go get it for him. Hey, you know what? Apparently, there's a lot of stuff down there, so we're able to keep what we find essentially. So. Not too bad, but you know what? I must say I'm quite intrigued and curious about that trip on the water, man. It's all good. As long as I get to visit new places, learn some things.
Okay. That sounds really interesting. The Brill spoke to you about, that's kind of, you're right, that's kind of up my alley.
Yeah, man. So, hey, I'm down for anything, man. I just want to do good and.
Me too.
Says
All
Hilda.
right, Hilda, righteous man.
It's okay. Just drink.
Well, it might be that. How long was this thing going to take? Like this thing with Brill? Is it like a couple days?
Man, he said about like a week or so, because, it's out of town, and he said something about the dark, man. Like, I don't mind, but, some others might have an aversion to being cooped up in dark spaces.
I glance around. Are they still there? Like Brill and Zim, or are they gone?
Actually, Zim has gotten up now, and is on his way out at the moment. Brill is now kind of sipping, just smoking a little pipe that he pulls out of his pocket. And Zim, as he's walking out, you see another person come in just as he's going by, and you recognize this person almost immediately as they enter. Is an elven gentleman, extremely well dressed, and he kind of comes walking. Well, not extremely well dressed, but like nicer than most people in the place. Long flowing robes. You see Colrin, which is probably the fourth different way I've pronounced that tonight, and I'm okay with that.
Hey man, Colrin, I know your name. Everybody's here knows your name.
That's now canon. Everybody turns and gives him the old Colrin, and like as he walks in, and he looks super awkward around the room. He's like, yes.
You just gotta lean into it, man. Just lean into it.
And he comes walking over towards you, and stands next to you all at the table as you're kind of taking stock of the place. And he looks over particularly at Rook, who he knows the best. And he's kind of shying a little bit away from Gex, who's cheering him on. He's like, yes, I was told I could find you here. Is there somewhere we can talk?
Of course.
Hey,
And
man. I'll go get a pint of the house ale.
Can I get
Okay.
Gex and Tillman? Actually, all of you, go ahead and do an insight check for me.
Yeah, man. No, man.
It's a 9.
I am rolling fucking shit tonight, man.
You. How'd you do, Steve?
21.
21. Oh, I thought you said 1. Holy.
I got a 17.
17's not bad. 21 is better. Both.
Not
So
20.
nice. All right, so
No.
Gex,
14.
you clock immediately in that brief pass. Zim, as he was on his way out, and Calran locked eyes for a second, and there was this ever so slight, like, just a little signal of, like, not now. And it was super subtle, just like a flick of an eye. And then Zim left. Seems to be some kind of connection there.
Hold that one for a bit. Okay. I'll keep that under my hat for a little bit. Not that I wear a hat, but...
Chen comes up and asks Calran.
Well, can we tempt you with anything today? Or will you go with your usual nothing?
And he, nothing, thank you. Shall we?
We really should try the gruel. I mean,
I'm going to get up and just say, motion him. I think he wants to probably speak in the back.
So he follows you.
Yeah.
It's probably quietest and less noticeable if you go upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys head up into the room where you have it. Back up to your room, to the unslept-in bed, and
yeah.
Calran kind of stands in the room, a bit uncomfortably, but he still carries this air of competence. He definitely seems. He doesn't. I don't know if he seems to be snobby, like on purpose, but it's just a casual. The thing that most people hate about elves, basically. That casual, I'm too good for this. Not all elves, but this one tends to exude it. Yes. Thank you. Good. This will do. I would like to get right down to it, Mr. Rook.
My name.
I'm looking for something. I need you to find me something. Sorry. I need you to bring something.
And what is that something?
I'm not at liberty to say. But suffice to say, it will be important. It cannot fall into the wrong hands. And I do not want it read.
Okay, so you want me to do kind of a messenger drop?
He nods.
And where do I pick this something up at? And where do I take it to?
Well, it's going to Verun. Do a history check.
Okay. What is up with natural 20s? 21.
Damn. You know where Verun is. It's one of the spines. It's a particular city. It falls under the guardianship of Drakal, who is a dragon. Nobody sees him, but he owns the island, and it's a pretty bustling, but small trade port. That it's like one of the safer spires. What am I? I keep. Did I say spines? Spines. It's one of the safer spine islands that's a bit more open to trade. And
What's the name of the guy, the dragon again?
Drakal.
Drakal.
And with a nat 20, you know that he's actually got like a cult level following. As many of the dragons who run the spines do.
Okay. I mean, I've never been out to the spines, but my buddy Tillman has, but I've heard of Varun, right? It's run by Drakal, and I just gotta let him know that I know this place.
Yes. Well, good. Transport can be arranged. But I need people to make sure that this message does not fall into the wrong hands. I need unaffiliated people. Just can't trust anyone in this. See, and he turns and he looks towards the door, and there's this sudden little flash of like brilliant light, like a bright spark and you look to where his eyeline was, and you see that the edge of the door frame is now smoldering as though it was scorched, and you hear this yelp in the hall, and scrambling back away from the door is that young boy who woke you up. And he's just coming to change chamber pot, and he goes scrambling backwards down. You do a religion check for me.
Okay. Got 10. I'm not very religious.
It seems like he cast some kind of magic, and it didn't seem arcane to you, but that's all you got. It wasn't fire per se, but it was some kind of sudden burning flash.
So where do I pick up this something, and when do you want it picked up?
Well, I would like it to be at its destination in about, could take a better part of a month, 3 weeks. It will be ready, hopefully soon. But you'll have better part of a week to prepare. You'll be traveling by ship.
And
I believe you met Captain Zim.
Yeah, I did meet him. He mentions about something of joining his crew.
Yes, at my behest. I asked him to reach out after I saw what you did and how well Turnbull spoke of you. Thought it might seem like a good thing. Like a competent team. You are competent, but can you be trusted? And he looks at you like, do a charisma saving throw, please.
Charisma saving throw. Okay. Not good. 6.
You sense it's not the same flash that went off at the door, but it's almost this just almost like this pulse of energy just goes throughout the room, and it's very subtle, almost like a very slight ripple. But you do pick up on that, and you're just like, okay. I'll say again. When you give your word, do you keep it?
Yeah, I keep my word when I give it.
DM asking you now. Is that true?
It is true. I don't often do that, but when it comes to it, I do. And when I take on a gig, I see it through.
Excellent. I would ask that you give your word if you take it on. And that will be good enough for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
And before I take it on, what's the fee?
Well, services at my temple, or possibly, and 5,000 equivalent. Gems or platinum or gold, but that would be very heavy.
5,000 gold, you say?
Or
Equivalent?
the equivalent.
Okay. That you have
You may
my attention.
discuss it.
Yeah.
If you're
Let me
interested.
discuss with my my friends, but you definitely have my attention with that service fee.
Well, I'll leave you to it then. And he heads out of your room. As he steps out into the hall and up on the balcony, you hear the call from out in the common room.
Colin!
Man, I hope you didn't pay full price for him, man. That was some short service.
All right, so you guys have a little bit of decisions to make, which path you want to go. I think we're gonna just take a quick little break, and when we come back, we'll see what you decide. Fair? Let's do.
There.
Just before
alright.
we go on break, anything else you want to? No.
No, I think I want to talk about this with the team.
Absolutely. Do you want to talk? Well, we'll be right back. All right, thanks everybody. I also forgot to play this thing, so we're gonna do that. I will be right back after a word from our sponsor. Steve, you're gonna work on that, yeah? Okay. Internet, you're welcome to make suggestions live if you want any free advertising from my good friend Steve there. All right, we'll be back in just a little bit. Thanks.
Alright, I'm gonna go walk the dog.
And with that, the party dies. They are remembered in tale and song briefly. The small flicker of when that guy won 30 gold, betting on the underdog. And thus ends the tale of the balance, the epic song of the Nothing Group. I'm just kidding. The Strange Acquaintances. That's their names. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay. So, you've had a chance to think about the decision, which jobs you want to take. What's the dealio? What do you want to do?
All right, Gex, Tillman. I just spoke with Calran. And interesting offer. Basically, it's a messenger drop, Gex. We don't read the message. We don't, handle it. We just take it from point A to point B. Point B being an island port in the spines called Varen. I actually know a little bit about it. I've read, some books on the spines way back in the day, and I did read up on Varen, and it's run by this dragon named Trakal. Anyways, if we do this, I guess a drop of the sensitive thing, he's gonna pay us 5,000 gold or equivalent, and we can decide. So we'll have to firm that up with him. so there's no kind of, you know how it is. Funny enough, that's the same. It's a similar offer to what Zim wanted. He wanted us to join his crew. He is actually being commissioned to take whoever is supposed to take the message to the island. So it's kind of like two birds, one stone. So
Man, like
I don't know, man. We've got three options. We can find a girl playing hooky, go on some type of dig to find forbidden treasure, in the dark, or go on a ship and make a lot of money.
not opposed to money, man.
Money's hard to pass up. It's also hard to hang on to. But he did say equivalent. So either way, that's very tempting. I feel like we're all kind of leaning towards going for a sail.
Yeah, I mean, until Caroline stepped in, I gotta be honest, I was more tempted to kind of, maybe out of instinct, go on a dig and see what we can find. Just because I've done it so many times, but this sounds interesting, very intriguing.
I'd change of pace for you too.
Change of pace, and hey, if we get in his good books, we keep doing what we're doing. It might lead to some places.
Hilda? Any
Yeah,
objection?
Fuck it. Let's do it.
I figured she'd say that.
And then
Let's go.
head back on the table.
Where's
And with-
Tien right now?
Oh, she's in the bar, just walking around. She's just behind the bar right now, cleaning it, wiping it down, doing the whole thing, mumbling to herself. And as you walk over, you see her kind of like she's cursing out the kid, the 15-year-old. She's like, "Get the
hell back in there and do the dishes. Can't trust you to do a damn thing.
Doing her usual. Well, Rook, how long do you think this will take us?
He said it will take a number of weeks, a few weeks.
Oh, it's a long
It starts end of this week, and just to travel there, like from what I know, takes a bit of a jaunt, right, on the open water.
Depending on with your history check, you have enough to know that it would usually take about a fast ship could maybe with the right winds could do it in about a week, but most of the time it's anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks, maybe even longer, depending on the weather.
So like round trip, we're talking about a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 weeks if the winds favor us.
All right. When does he want us to depart?
End of week. But I told him that we need to probably firm up details, right?
Okay. Well, I'm in. If you guys think, let's do it.
All right.
If we
That
got a week,
seems-
though, I am going to go check on that. I am going to go drop in on that party.
Absolutely. So, what else is people gonna do for a week while they get ready? Gex is gonna try to take a look around for Therese.
That and one other thing. I'm going to go buy myself like a trunk in which to lock things and arrange with Tien to leave it somewhere with her, like store it here.
Sure. She'll you go up and you ask her about that.
Yeah, that's not a problem. We can stuff that down in the cellar. It's gonna run you, say, 3 gold?
Yeah, easily done. I'll give you 5. Make sure no one goes near it.
If it's more than half a year, it's mine.
Agreed.
All right. Anything else? Tillman, what are you doing?
Just, Tillman is just gotta take account of his things, and start preparing,
Absolutely.
making sure his stuff is sea ready. Get some good wax for a shell, and you gotta waterproof it.
Absolutely. I think it starts waterproof, but anyway, sounds good. Sounds good. What about you, Gordon? Or Rook, I should say.
Rook is gonna do a few things.
Come on, guys. You don't want to do a
one,
shopping episode?
He's going to look at just some. Actually, he is going to go shopping.
I knew it.
So is
Yes.
Yeah, so am I.
Yeah, he's going to go shopping for, knowing that he's going to go on a ship, he's going to go shopping for some gear and upgrade of a weapon or two. Like he's going to buy a rapier.
Nice. All right. The rapier, I believe, will set you back about, I think it's about 15 gold. I'd need to look that up. But
Awesome.
we can hand wave a lot of this if you want, or we can RP it. It's up to you. I am. happy
I
to
think
do
like
either.
the weapons buying, like we can just hand wave.
Yeah.
But he's also gonna buy a couple, like some healing pots.
Those will run you
And,
about 50 apiece.
Oh, 50 gold apiece. Ouch.
You do have the
maybe
pot
not.
of the 1,000 that you did split.
Yeah,
Always.
like I got 250. Oh, rapier's like 25 gold. So I'm gonna buy a rapier.
Yeah.
And I am going to go to where kind of like out of road, since he's come into some money, he's gonna donate 10 gold to he knows a place where they kind of they take care of basically the refugees of people who made it out of the undertow.
Yeah, that's fair. Sort of like.
So he's
yeah.
gonna he's paying it forward.
So as you're going past that section of town, and it's very purposefully, they have people who wait and meet people who might have been involved in that and scoured kind of the ruins. But this is very purposefully not on that side of town. People don't want to be reminded. So you make your way down towards that really kind of slum area of town, and you see this. It's a pretty big building. It might have been a converted warehouse, but it's been converted a long time. And so you can kind of go in there. You see they've divided it up. There's kind of tarps set up for catching any drips that come through the roof. There's a bit of a yard, and there's some sun. You see some kids running through the yard, playing in the kind of tufts of brown grass. There's a couple of people there, just kind of obviously just moving around, not really up to much, nowhere really to go. Kind of an old timer in the corner. And you look over and you see Kat just looking up at you, sitting on one of the beds next to this kind of woman who's sitting there, kind of rocking ever so slightly. What were the names?
I kind of give a nod. I kind of give a nod to Kat,
Mm-hmm.
and just whisper to myself that I'll find it. I just need time. And Rowan, who is like he was the older ranger guy who would always drop by the orphanage, and he would kind of donate because he actually was an orphan himself. And so I kind of nod to him and I just say, paying it forward. And I just go up to the people there, and they probably recognize me once in a while. I drop in and give what I can, and I give them 10 gold.
Absolutely. So this woman who runs the place, she takes it happily. Thank you. And as you walk by, you can see all these, like about half the beds have people just kind of sitting on them, little cots. There's a makeshift walls put up, either wood, flotsam, or cloth and tarps. And in every other room or so are empty. But you see the visages of your your friends as you walk by, just standing or sitting, giving you a look. Angel looks up at you. He's tuning this lute, and it's weird. You can see him playing it, but you can't hear the music. And he looks up at you. He's like, "You got this, man. You got this." All right. You took care of that business. You pick up the rapier, no problem. It's just off the rack. And the healing pots, how many do you want?
I am going to get. I'm going to get just one healing pot, just in case.
Sure. You're on your way back from, we're gonna call it the Barrows. Is the orphanage, or not orphanage, but it's the refugee shelter, and you're walking through the sorry words the market, and you manage to find one of the stalls is busy selling tinctures and potions and so on. Some of them are just total horse shit, and the rest of them, but there are some that are legitimate healing potions. And the guy looks up and he's like, "Would you like to buy? Impress your lady friends." Offers you a bonus after he sold you the healing potion. He's like, "Make you rock hard." Nope. All right. Okay.
Okay. And okay. So I'll just add a healing pot to my inventory.
Do it. Mark off 50 gold and
All right, have a good day.
All right, thanks.
Could have been better.
You too.
all right. So you head off. So that's your day. And now, I mean, you have not yet actually accepted the job.
Nope, not yet.
So you ask around Tien and others, and they seem to all know Calvin. So you gather very quickly from one of the locals named Tom. Why do I do this to myself? I'm going to have to track all these NPCs. So Tom, one of the regulars, like, "Oh yeah, he lives, he keeps the temple up on Holy Row there. You go in and one of the acolytes will just put it in the right direction for you."
Okay.
So-
Are we going together though?
It's up to you.
I'm gonna ask you guys, like, do you guys want to go together when we accept this job? Like, might be good to get a little bit more,
Yeah. No, I'm down for stuff. Definitely come for that. I do want to make a visit to an armorer before we actually shove off, but that can wait. We can actually go accept the job first.
All right. So, yep, that'll work. So you want to do that after.
Yeah, might as well go accept the job, and then we can do a little bit more running around before we leave.
All right. So you guys make your way up to Holy Row, as they say, and it's kind of on a ridge up over. The town itself is built in almost tiers, and as you go further up and further east, you get a little bit more and more wealthy, and so this goes up about 2 levels. So there's kind of the pretty high-end housing, not the richest in town, but pretty good. So you go walking through a couple of the guards. The wardens kind of clock you as you go by, because some of you look a little rough. Gex, you don't know why people just give you such a hard time all the time. You're a nice guy, but anyway. So you keep on going up a while, and you make your way through into this it's a gated walled section where many of the temples in town they've got these little compounds spread out in almost like a ring around the city, And so there are several different deities that are worshipped in town. Some of them more on harder times, and their temples are kind of more in disrepair. Others are pretty bumping, you know. And this one's actually kind of middle of the road. It's down. It's got its own compound, and you go in, and there's kind of almost like a main meeting chamber, and it's got this arch around it through the low gate. It's really low. It's like 2 feet high, easy to step over, and grass. And the compound's probably a couple hundred feet on either way, and extends back a ways. And there's this path that leads through, and some statues around, and kind of little places. You see little clusters of people, not too busy, but a couple people kind of walking around, taking it in, contemplatively, as you're walking along this slightly winding path leading upwards. Towards the middle of it, there's almost like a little square, and there's this arches that extend up from the cardinal directions, and they meet at this center kind of dome that provides a little bit of shelter from the elements above. But it's open-sided, other than the pillars themselves, and it's probably a good 50, 60 feet across, and you kind of pass by a small cluster of people, some of them robed, like there might be acolytes. A few others may have just been visiting the temple. So what do you want to do? You're not really sure which way to go to meet Calren from here.
I'm probably gonna just go up to like a nearby acolyte that I think would be helpful, and just mention that we're here to see Calren. He should be expecting us, and I just mentioned my name's Rook.
Sure. So he kind of looks at you and gives this nod. He's like, yes, if you continue down the path towards the far end. You are being heckled. Thank you. All right. Heckle. Thank you, Bertez. Welcome to the stream. So he kind of points down the path. He's like, Calren can be found in the main temple. If you just ask, and they'll let you in. And at that moment, someone goes by and shoulder chucks. Who am I going to pick on? Who should I pick on, Bertez? If you don't know, I'll pick. I can roll for it as well. I'll give you a sec. Rook, Gex, Dave, or the random acolyte that they stopped. It's your choice.
Or I'm bringing Hilda with us too. She's
or
here.
Hilda.
She's very much here.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's my fashion consultant.
All right, I will roll the d4 because the interweaves. But you still get dibs if you want to, Bertez. Who is it that is about to get chuckled? All right. So it looks like... Drum roll. Well, Gex. This person has just booked right, like, just past the whole group. Just boom, 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 boom. And shoulder chucks you out of the way, which is no small feat. That I'm going to get you to do an athletics check or acrobatics. It's your choice.
Yeah, well, I want to roll to see. Can I roll a reaction or something to see if when he does that, I can steal something off of him?
Sure, but roll your athletics or
Athletics.
acrobatics first.
Which is, are they both? No, okay, acrobatics. Oh, nat 20 plus 5.
Wow.
25.
All right. So you turn it into one. It's like perfect Aikido. You're just like, you just redirect the energy. Where do you want to send this being? It's a human. Kind of is wearing leathers underneath, kind of a half robe kind of looking thing. Has a leather band around his forehead. What do you want to do?
Would do his kind of quirky sense of humor. He would kind of like grab the guy and spin him, take a hand, almost like he's swing dancing him, spin him around, and kind of like send him off with a bit of a twirl.
Sure. And because Bertez just put it into chat, I'm also going to say that as he untwirls, the guy kind of just tries to twist and stop, and instead just tramples right over into Rook, knocking both of them to the ground. And he's this human guy who you just toss to the ground. Just watch where you're going, scum.
You were the one doing the going.
And he just
keep
pushes
going.
off of Rook's shoulder to stand up, and just rudely just gets to his feet, dusts himself off, and calls you all something in a language. Anybody here? Yeah, I don't know if any of you speak that language. What languages do you speak? Tillman.
Aquan and Gnomish and Common.
Common and Elvish.
Giant and
Common.
common? Okay, I'm gonna say, just because, I don't know, I feel like Gnomish should be all, really good at swear words. You pick up, it's related to Gnomish. It's not Gnomish exactly, or maybe it's a dialect, but you catch a couple of words are like, and then you're gonna be looking and shove it up all the way up your.
And
he
I
mumbles.
reply back in Gnomish, that's not physically possible.
And he kind of stops, and turns, and just goes marching away.
You know
There
what?
You go.
Up your butt and around the corner. Devastating and nostalgic.
I'm gonna get you to do a retroactive sleight of hand. There, Gex.
Oh yeah, for the let's see if any.
You've managed to maybe get something as he goes by.
11.
You've had better jobs before. Unfortunately, that one is not your greatest moment. But
Was focusing so much on the twirling. One thing at a time, right?
I'm gonna say you managed to go for the most obvious thing, which was a bracelet. So you've got this bracelet. It's got a little red gem in it. Might be worth something. Maybe just decorative.
Yeah, it's just fulfilling his kleptomaniac sort of. It's also always practicing your craft, right? That's the other thing.
Of course.
You can't just be awesome without practice. So some days you just don't have it.
Man, stop describing my life. Anywho, so you guys
So kind of brush ourselves off. I'm like, all right, and then start heading into the temple.
Okay. So you go walking past this thing and underneath this large, almost vestibule thing that kind of shows the opening to the temple itself. And you can see there's nobody around as you kind of went there was that kind of dome top with the 4 cardinal directions and paths spread out from there. And you keep going through that on the straight path towards the back of this back kind of separated temple from the rest. There were more other kind of areas and buildings are scattered around this pretty big complex. And you keep going back to, it's actually fairly small. It's tucked in behind a larger building. And you find it's 2 stories, and it's got this extremely long vestibule, almost like it's wrought iron, and you're not sure, I guess maybe they do outdoor things here, and there's this small garden in this area, and it's intricately carved various things. And those of you who like stonework, I guess, yeah, Hilda mentions the stonework. She seems to like the stone. And you guys are coming up on this long, extended, almost like greenhouse roof, but no walls. And you're heading in. I'm going to get you to do just a perception check for me.
Okay. Would also like to know, what's this temple of? Is there any indication of the type of priest Colrin is, the type of deity Colrin's worshipping?
Unfortunately, with your previous religion check of 10, you don't know.
Oh, did you mention, or do I notice which deity this temple's
Let's just see if Rook.
Temple's for?
says anything.
No, I didn't mention any deity. Like I just said, Karan's a priest, and
But
he,
do I notice, the markings in the temple? Do I recognize if it's,
Sure. Do a perception
temple,
check
the
for
saloon?
me. Do a first perception check for. Oh, I'll tell you what, Dave. Yeah. Just to notice stuff is going to be perception check, and then you might get a religion check or a different religion check target.
And while he's doing that, so as I'm doing my perception check, I'm almost kind of getting little flashes of like growing up with the Sisters of like at the orphanage with the Sisters of Mercy, and just kind of getting little flashes and just from just seeing things around. And so I'm just going to use my knowledge from one of my knowledge from a past life to add to my roll.
Yeah, do it. What, 4 wasn't good enough for you?
Well, I got 11, but yeah.
Well, yeah, with the mods.
14. So
Okay.
not bad, but not terrible.
So cut back to the orphanage, and Sister Shra, that was her name. Sister Shra had been meeting with potential donors, and you've been a good boy. So you were assigned to be bringing the tea that day, and so you delivered the tea and left just as per the instructions. And you think this kind of memory pulls in, and you see this little flash of Angel as you walk by the hallway you're carrying the silverware and the tea, beautiful tea set. Well, you thought it was beautiful. Most people would look at it and it's like, yeah, that's mostly tin. It was a pretty poor orphanage. And in one of the rooms, you see Angel in trouble again, detention. But he kind of sucks his teeth a little bit and makes fun of you as you go by, and you're like, yeah. It lets you get to places that they aren't. So you'd brought the tea and then left for a while, and then kind of this older gentleman kind of left after a bit, and then out came Sister Shra, and she rings the bell, and you go walking in to go collect the tea set, and she's just kind of shaking her head. And as you reach over to take the teacup from her hand, and she offers it, and she's,
Let me give you a little bit of advice. Rook, sometimes those with the most to give are the least likely to give it.
and
Yes, sister.
you remember she reaches into this little notebook she keeps, and she scratches off a name. This one was called actually Internets. If you want, you can change the name. I can make something up, but if you want, you can change the name of the temple that this is of. So that's where I'm going with this. Is the name of the temple you vaguely associate uppity rich, and the name of the temple is, come on internet, give me a name. Give me a name of the temple group. Some really wealthy, potentially type of temple. So we'll come back to that. So you have the name at least of this area.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Tillman, how'd you do on your perception?
I did, I think I had 22 or, yeah, 22.
Woo! 22. So you're taking it all in, and you find you're an explorer. You love to see architecture and symbols, and everything here is beautiful and just ornate and in a very classy kind of simplistic kind of way. It's very nice. You see some symbols of the raven, several different iconographies as you've been walking through. But in this particular point, you see it's actually not, it's the thing that stands out the most to you is what shouldn't be there. And you're like, what the, you've seen the Dawn Father represented, you've seen the Raven Queen represented here, you've seen all of these different symbols, and smack in the middle of this vestibule entrance thing, you see it's almost like this little plaque added as an afterthought in the middle of this area, and it is vulgar. It is like there's something just off about this plaque, and it's, if you had to take a guess, it would be every religion has its counterpoint. You've got your devils and your gods. You've got and your angels. In this case, light counters dark. And this temple has been pretty devoted to the lighter of the gods. But this symbol is the opposite. And it's got this twisted, massive eye in the middle. And it's almost like barbed wire kind of thorns are twisting around it, etched, and they seem embossed and etched into this. And the eye itself is a little bit three-dimensional. And that, you notice this is sitting right, like, kind of in the middle of a garden. And you notice that whoever put it there, it's definitely, like, there are plants that should have been growing there, and it's kind of half crushing them. It's been dropped in after the fact. Probably recently, judging by the fact that the plants underneath are still alive. You're about maybe 30 feet away right now. That's what you got for your 22.
Something's not right, man.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, most of the iconography, most of the symbols here, man, represent some good stuff, you know? Some good deities, and then you got this, man. You got this crushing life, you know, and this, it's not meant to be there, man. There's something off here. I don't know, man. I don't know what your guy's into, but I don't know. Maybe, yeah, we gotta carry something, man, but I don't know if I want to be part of something that promotes, you know, the darker side of things. That's just my concern, man. Be on your toes when you talk to this guy.
Okay, let's all be on our toes. And I'm kind of like, I don't really know religion that well type of person. So
You look up at the building from where you're standing. It's just this entrance, but the entrance is about 50 feet away. You gotta go through the garden to get there. And you can see just above it this starburst. And then kind of on both sides of the door, there's a different one. So you see symbols for, and I finally found my notes. You see symbols for light and love. You see symbols for life and order and peace. All the positive deities. And in different iconography here, you do see some of the others. Because they do have to, you do see symbols for death. Not bad ones. It's more like what you might find in a cemetery. Just acknowledging death, and that, you know, you definitely. But those are the only ones you jump out at you right now. Gex, it doesn't seem like anything. Actually, do me a favor, Gex. You can do an investigation check if you want to.
Let's find out. Oh, good one. Total of 20.
So as you're walking along, and Tillman points this out, and you're about, I'm assuming you guys are going to head in?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of hold back for a second, and Hilda, who is able to walk on her own now, she hasn't been hungover all week, but she says some weird stuff and doesn't quite sound like herself. So she goes on.
Taking her along.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop wandering off.
So you kind of see what Tillman points out, this kind of eyeball with the barbs around it, and you're like, I've seen that very recently. And
Did I see this?
Sorry,
Did I see this when at some point during that gauntlet situation, or no?
No. With
No,
with
no.
your 20, you pick it up immediately, like, oh, and you pull out that bracelet you stole, and you look again at the little red gem, and it's like just a slight carving.
Hmm.
That could be an eye. The artisanship is awful, but
Yeah.
it could be a red eye.
Okay. Keep that in mind.
Cool. All right. So you guys press on. One of the acolytes points you to. Oh yes, it's just through there, and he points through the garden and into the temple. Or sorry, this kind of. It's almost like a residence of the temple. Anything? Yeah. Okay, so you make your way in. I'm going to need Constitution saving throws from all of you.
Whoa.
Not my worst roll, so it's all right.
Tillman, fail.
Oh. Damn, man, with the 17?
Yeah.
10, fail.
All right, Gordon. Oh, sorry, Rook, fail. How'd you do, Gex?
4. Very much failed.
Oh boy. Okay. And can
Oh,
somebody
the-
roll for Hilda, please?
The gruel. I'll roll for here. Not 20. The drunken stone chick's just like, yeah, whatever, dude.
So she's walking through. This is from Hilda's perspective. As you all go walking through, and Gex is like, no, this way. And then he gets lost looking at this bracelet for a second. And Tillman's like walking up to go look at this little crest that's kind of crushing the garden, man. And Rook kind of steels himself and starts boldly striding towards the door. And Hilda turns as this butterfly goes past her face. And she turns away from the group and just looks, takes like 3 steps to the left. And then there's just this of light and just this reddish flare, as though it was almost like flickering flare light in darkness, just overpowers everything. And Tillman's just like, and just lands on his back in the far side. Rook is just tossed like 40 feet back, lands on his spine, his arm twisted in this weird thing, legs broken, eyes rolled back in his head. Gex is just smashed upwards because just where he was, he kind of got flung upwards, and up and over this, as just straight back into a large stone urn, just shatters as you go through this thing, and end up you land on the ground. Your head's at this really awful angle, and Tillman, you got rocket because you were heading towards the crest, and you got rocketed right up through the glass thing, just and then like land 20 feet behind in the dirt. Just this little shell. My arms and legs just reactively pulled inside. I'm gonna need death throws from all 3 of you.
Holy shit.
This is from entering the to meet the face to meet Calrun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we're down to 0 hit points?
Yep.
Damn.
Wow.
Alright, so death save.
Oh shit!
Wait.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
You can vaguely hear Hilda somewhere as you're all just kind of just blinking, and she's running. Internet. Who's Hilda gonna try to save? She's only got a few seconds.
I think I have advantage on death saving throws.
I think you do.
Oh, how do you know that?
His character.
My
I'm
character.
aware of his build.
Hmm.
It's a secret.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'll roll.
Yeah,
I have
go for it.
advantage.
Dave, you pass, but you kind of come out of your shell for a second, and you can just feel this spreading black rot going up your lower jaw, and just like, and then you just start to choke, and you go to say something to Hilda as she runs towards. I'll roll if we don't know. She goes running towards Gex, who's been taking care of her. All right. So the 17, Rook, you're still alive, but you're unconscious and falling. And no shit, really? You got a 20, Gex? That's two
in a
for
row.
you.
That's 2 in a row.
Damn.
If you include the one for Hilda.
And Hilda goes running over to you, and you just suddenly sit up, and she's like, ah! And you are just a mess. Your eyeballs are bleeding. It's bad. But you are at 1 hit point now.
Yeah.
Hilda turns and goes booking it towards roll a dice, Rook or Dave.
You want us to roll dice? Or
Yeah, roll a
dice
d20.
for-
It'll be rollies to see who she goes for. I think she's probably going to go for Tillman, given you rolled a 17.
Yeah, I'll roll with d20. Sure. A 5. So going to Tillman.
Yep, she runs over to Tillman and pulls off her
Oh.
gauntlet, puts her hand right on your face, and this pulse of bluish light going driving back the rot, and you gain 5 hit points, and you are back.
All right.
You no longer have to roll death slaves. Meanwhile,
I can
Rook,
use a Spirit of Dying on Rook.
it's going to be in a turn. Rook, I need another death saving throw.
Sure. Nat 20. 22.
Nat 20. And you just everything just fades to black. And in the dark, this face just right next to yours. Which face appears next to yours?
This time I think it's going to be Delilah, who is like the herbalist that kind of took care of us when we were really sick.
And she's like almost nose to nose with you. And she whispers, "Not yet. Not yet. Hang on." The same word she muttered in the infirmary when you had red fever. It almost took you then, but it won't take you now. And you gasp at 1 hit point. It's a bit of a shuffle, like a bustle, and all of your heads are just like pounding, and out come guards. It did not go unnoticed. You see several acolytes come through, and eventually pushing through the crowd, you see Calrin come walking up, and he kind of stops a few feet away and notices that you're all alive, although still real rough, and he gives a curt nod and mutters something to somebody else, and then turns on his heel and goes back inside. And the acolyte that he talked to comes walking over to all of you and says, "Yes, His Honor would like to, if you're feeling up to it, continue with your meeting. If not, you could come back later. If you're in need of healing, services could be provided."
What was that?
And also, why was that?
I'll leave that to His Honor to explain.
Okay.
Let's just say it might be best if you don't know more. At least that's what they tell us.
When is that ever true?
I kind of look over at Tillman and Hilda, like, I'm in pretty bad shape.
Yeah. Me too.
Alright. Who am I closest to?
You're closest to
Help him.
you're closest to Rook.
Help him first.
Alright, I'll cast Cure Wounds on Rook.
While you're doing that, these acolytes are busy setting up like roped curtains, not curtains, but like roped stanchion type things to kind of block off the center of this and kind of guide you. If you're going to follow, they ask you to follow them inside, but through a side door.
Yeah, I think we've come this far.
And Dave,
Well, yeah.
Dave, how do you heal
Mhm.
Rook?
Just put a hand on his shoulder and like, man, this guy better be worth it.
And the warmth just spreads. You got your 6 hit points back, sir.
Okay.
All right. So you're led through a series of kind of nice hallways. They've got old statues kind of in little nooks. They've got tapestries in various places, some art on the walls, and you're led on this
Kind of on guard.
Oh yeah,
Very on guard.
yeah. And
Before
it's,
we were like, oh, we're in a place, we're supposed to meet this guy. Now it's like, okay, what's coming at us?
yeah, your hand is kind of slippery with sweat and actually some of your own blood, as you're kind of gripping your rapier blade out just in case. And the acolyte who's leading you seems nervous, but in a kind of like, this is actually, I'm doing insight check. Anybody?
Sure.
Alright. Inside.
17.
Fuck sakes.
Steven is dirty 20 this time, I think, right? All right.
That was not natural this time.
Yeah. And Dave with his 6. Dave,
Mm-hmm.
you keep getting caught up and distracted by like some of the art.
Butterfly.
Was.
So and Gordon, Rook, you got your 17. So I think that's yours, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So anyone with, Rook and Gex both clock that this acolyte, you would expect him to be nervous, or at least more nervous, and he seems like it's an inconvenient Thursday.
Interesting.
So this is not the first time this has happened. I kind of signed
Mhm.
to Gex, not the first time.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that.
All right. It's your- Yep.
While we're signing, I'm just gonna flash him that. Just gonna toss him that bracelet and go like, don't know what this means, but I grabbed that off that dude that I twirled.
I'm going to take a look at the bracelet. Like, I guess
Sure.
he's...
Do an investigation check.
Better late than never.
Okay. And I am going to do it, just so you know, I've assigned investigation as my extra proficiency
Nice.
for short rest, so I might change it, but... $15.
All right. It's a fairly plain leather band, but it's got a red. Doesn't look like a gemstone or anything. It doesn't look like it's worth much. More just decorative. But as you run your finger over it, you can feel more than see the little spot where it would be the pupil. It is in the shape of the eye that you saw, kind of carved in that stone that had been placed or discarded in the middle. The stone, by the way, was probably about the size of a book. Just kind of almost placed in the garden there, right on top of some of the plants and stuff. With the carved eye, and this appears to match that. I'm going to retroactively solve one of my own problems for a second. So Gex, that moment just prior kind of flashes back for a second in your mind, and you were like, I've seen that. And you pulled out the bracelet, and Hilda's like, ooh, what's that? Pretty. And she looks at it, and then she turns and goes, butterfly. And she had taken like 3 steps away while holding it, and then kaboom. And so you get this back from her on the way back up. All right, so now you're led through all these hallways up and through into a room. It looks like an office, fairly well adorned with, decent wood, decent carvings, a nice desk, several couches and chairs. And in the room, you see Calran, and he's standing there and looking a little bit perturbed. And he motions you all in, and then motions for the acolyte to leave, and the door closes. Well,
Is that... Yeah, before you even start, just be clear with me. Is that look of perturbance for us, for being here, setting off that? Or is it a look of perturbance for that having been set off?
you are outsiders, and as such, I'd hope to spare you things of that sort. And spare. Apparently, word travels quickly around here. Well, it just accelerates my timelines. I'm not irritated at you, and I'm glad to see you all managed to survive. I'm sorry, forgive me. Forgive my, got a lot going on. Would you be in need of any healing?
Yeah.
What do you think,
Yeah.
man?
I'll say this: if you don't provide any, I will hold that against you.
So he goes over and he opens this small box on the desk and pulls out this symbol, and kind of walks over and holds it. It's still dangling from its chain, and he mutters some words, and this low-grade light just starts to fill the. It's like gray light of Twilight starts to take over the room, but it's not like full on Twilight, but the lights dim a little bit, and it becomes the only. Now, Tillman, you pick up. You're trained in religion. This is.
Well, yeah.
You would say that this is the holy symbol for death, actually. And it is represented with its counterpart of life, almost like a yin-yang kind of thing. And as he kind of holds it there, and it kind of flicks and it spins on its axis. And as it spins, on one side is death, on the other side is life, and back. And then as it goes by, the healing energy hits you, and you're all healed. That's going to be 9 more. Actually, hold on. He's going to upcast that. That is going to be 15 points of healing to everybody in the room.
Ooh. Okay. I look a lot better now.
And he kind of returns to the desk, puts it back in the box, closes it, keeps his back turned to you for a little while.
That symbol, do I recognize that? Is that similar to the symbol on the artifact, or is it different?
The modern interpretations of the deities are like stacked on older ones. So go ahead and do a religion check.
Okay. Nope. No idea. 4.
It's not only that you have no idea, it's when you start to think back to that artifact you pulled out of the ruins, which seems like a lifetime ago. There's almost like a static, like a brain fog. Brain fog. The brain fog we all feel. The brain fog, as you try to concentrate on that particular symbol, it just gets more and more like. And you kind of shake back, and Angel's hand just pops on your shoulder, and as you kind of felt your knees kind of give for a second, he's like, "Easy, mate, easy."
Okay.
Tillman, with your religion, that was your earlier one, right?
No, that was the one I just rolled.
Now, you don't know the artifact that Rook was talking about. You haven't seen that one. He hasn't mentioned it.
Nope.
But I will say this. It's really f***ing weird when Rook's friends show up. You feel this really warm spot deep inside your shell where you tuck that little shard for safekeeping, the shard of light that you managed to pull from the arena. And it just gets warm in your skin pocket. And that almost is this weird, like, wait a second. And you look up just in time to see somebody standing next to Rook who's half there. It's like the further away you go from Rook, the edges of them begin to dissolve into like a mist that just kind of fades away. So, Rook, what does he see when he sees Angel?
He sees a young man, roughly my age, who is just kind of steadying me like an old friend.
Now, but descriptively, is he human? Is he half elf?
Yeah. So he's also human, and he is young, boyish charm. Really looks really like a pretty boy, and dirty blonde hair with bright blue eyes.
All right.
And then you kind of blink again, and there's nobody there.
Oh, half elf. Sorry, he's a half elf.
Yeah.
All right.
So, now that we've got that sorted, I don't think you've been made, per se. Honestly, I've put the feelers out with 4 different groups, and I've expected something like this. So, if you're still willing, clearly, you see what we're up against. We've had a disgruntled faction take exception to the good works that we do here. As such, some of our more, shall we say, desirable, older bits of knowledge have been well sought. And as such, we've had to take security rather seriously lately. I am sorry you got caught up in that. But at the very least, you know what you're getting yourself into. Someone doesn't want us to share what we know. We have allies in the spines, whatever they are, in the islands, amongst the dragons, that would be beneficial to have some knowledge that we have, and a faster means of sharing it. I would like you to take something to them for me. But I don't know that I've been careful enough Are you still willing?
You know what? After what just happened? Yeah, actually. Yeah, I'm willing now. Now it's more personal.
Yep. I don't know why, but I am.
Yeah, man. Sure, I'm in.
What the fuck? Somebody just tried to kill us for walking in a door.
Hilda says.
Yeah.
He said
I mean-
sorry, Hilda.
You'll get used to it. Happens to me all the time.
But it's to your
To
point.
be clear, the faction that wants to stop us have been making attempts. That could have been meant for anyone. We've had 5 attacks on our interests. And I suppose word got out that we were going to be meeting with couriers. Now the good news is, I have 3 other meetings. So they'll have a hard time determining exactly which group has the real deal, as they say.
So I
Well-
know we're not supposed to know what we're carrying, but can you tell us who we're up against?
Honestly, I wish I knew. There are suspects, but
I'm gonna hold up the bracelet. We ran into someone out front, and I kind of showed like the bracelet with the eye.
and he makes a motion, and oddly enough, the bracelet just lifts out of your hand and hovers towards him.
And we're gonna look at him to see if like if there's like recognition, like
Do an
regardless
insight
of what he
check.
says.
Yeah, do an
Yeah.
insight check, and he takes a close look at this hovering bracelet as it's kind of, and it turns. Oh, crude but effective.
23.
This appears to be some sort of nullifying device. And he makes a motion, and the stone pops out of the bracelet, and the leather bands unravel and fall to the floor. And the little stone just keeps hovering there. It's only about the size of your pinky nail. And he's like, this could have been the work of the mage towers. Could have been the Inquisition as well. They use these sort of things. I'm afraid I don't really know who's trying to stop us. You must be on your guard.
So
Trust no one.
Yeah, that's universal advice. Have a question. The information that we are smuggling for you is information people are very clearly willing to kill for. Hence, you're hiring the disposable strange acquaintances. Why don't you just tell us what it is? And then we don't have to carry, any kind of documentation. We could just deny possession of the knowledge.
You can't tell what you don't know. And you can't sell it out either. At that point, you sense that same feeling you had in the in your room, Rook, as this of like a little subtle shimmer extends out from him, encompassing you all. Can I get everybody to do a charisma saving throw, please?
Right.
Really?
I rolled a 23, by the way, on insight.
Ah, yes, we'll get back to that. Wow. Carl?
It's on
You're
par, man.
amazing.
I got -3. I got -3 for charisma.
Wow. So, yep, Dave Tillman got a 1.
13.
Dude. And a 13 for Gordon, that's still a fail.
Yeah.
and Gex, or sorry, Rook. And Gex, you get an 11, so you fail as well. And Dave Tillman, not only can he tell if you're lying, you for the next hour are compelled to tell the truth. You cannot but tell the truth and nothing but the truth, asked or unasked. And Hilda also did not pass, as you're all just like. And he turns to you all and asks you again. Please take no offense, but I don't entirely trust sellswords.
I don't trust him either.
If you agree to this, you are agreeing to put your life on the line to deliver something. You will not know if it's the real deal or whether it is the dummy. Are you willing to do this and not betray me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You pay, we'll play.
Good.
But it's
Fine.
going to require, deposit.
He unfolds his hands from in his robes and makes the universal. What you want, you may have. You have our supplies. Our supply, we have our acolytes can furnish you with whatever you need for the journey, within reason, of course. I also have some of these. And he kind of walks over to another a cabinet and extends a key, opens it up, and slides out. You may take some of these if you wish. And you see some scrolls, you see some potions, you see a couple of different things. So you get 3 scrolls, and you get 5 potions.
Okay.
I'll just go over and take
What are
and
the
take and
scrolls?
take until he physically tries to stop me.
You just keep emptying stuff out of the box, and he's just standing there looking at you, and he's just like,
I'll kind of be subtle about it too. I'll pick one thing up and look at it with one hand, and then with the other hand I'll be
and
shoving
he's
stuff.
just standing here taking it all in, like you're trying to be all thievy about it, and he's just like, and he turns around and goes, picks up a teacup in the corner, again waves his hand over it, and fresh steam kind of coming up off the there, and takes a sip, sits down. He's like, Gex is, and Hilda leans over to Gex as she's grabbing stuff, and she's like,
I think it's all for us.
Well, I'm just gonna, as she does that, I'm gonna start stuffing stuff in her pockets, like sleight of hand.
and
Yeah.
she's just like, okay.
I'm gonna obviously I'm not gonna be quite like that. I'll take some of the potions.
As the box starts to get emptied, you see a couple other things in the bottom. There's a dagger in a sheath. There's a ring. There is you see folded at the bottom. There's a length of cloth, like a cloak.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll take those. We should write this down, and then we can. I'm already in my mind thinking I'm gonna get Kat's help to figure what these things are out.
Absolutely. So once you've
So dagger,
emptied the box,
cloak, and a ring.
yep, dagger, cloak, ring. You also see there's these gauntlet bracers.
Bracers. I think
There's-
we're gonna keep it in a pot.
I think I said
for all of us.
5 potions and 3 scrolls. Most
Okay.
of the stuff is in Gex's possession. Some of it is stuffed in Hilda's bodice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hands on we'll get it all together and figure it out and divvy.
Gex is like prodding the bottom of the box to make sure there's no false bottom.
How big is the box?
It's like almost the size of a big paper box.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take the box.
You're trying to fit it under your cloak.
No, I'm not even gonna hide it. I'm just taking it.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the guy. I'm gonna look at Calvin and just kind of like give him a smug kind of, this is my friggin' box kind of look.
he just looks right back at you.
Yeah, we can put that against the 5,000. So I'm gonna look at Calvin and I'm gonna say, okay, we'll put that against the fee of 5,000. And anything else you can tell us that would help us be successful? Obviously, you don't know exactly who's doing this, but any other guidance you can provide? Because success
Do a
for us
persuasion
is
check
success
for me.
for you. Persuasion?
Yep.
Okay. $13. Not bad, not great.
He kind of looks at you with that cold stare of his, and then he does a half smile, and which is probably the first time you've actually seen him smile, and it's not terribly convincing. But he seems to be trying to put you at ease, and he's like, "We don't know who's doing this, which faction, but they've been, whichever one it is, have been trying to interrupt our work here in the city and beyond. We need a way to speak with our allies. And he holds up a cloth covering this round. It's about the size of a fist underneath. And it just floats over towards you, Rook. And hovers in front of you.
Okay. I guess with my insight, did I sense that he was lying? Did I sense...
He wasn't convinced by your attempt to dig to open up much more. He's still being very intentionally vague, and he's trying not to give too much information. But it doesn't seem malicious. It's just that he doesn't want you to know all the details.
Okay. Well, I will take the package.
It's heavy. You grab it, and then the weight stops suspending itself, and you're like, whoa. It's cold, and it is hard. And you kind of pull back the cloth, making sure he doesn't object. And you look at it, and it is this perfectly spherical glass ball. And inside is very gray, and there's little flecks of... It appears like there's a little bit of movement inside. It's not solid glass, and it is gray and opaque, like a dark smoke color. And there's a very slight bit of shift of movement when you look at it. It is a snow globe. But somebody filled it with, like, smoke.
Okay. I will tuck it away in my backpack in a safe spot.
Well, I believe Captain Zim will be awaiting for you when the ship is ready. That'll be... They've picked up the pace. We put out word that it was going to be a week, but they plan to set sail tomorrow. It's shortly after sundown. Make sure you're at Pier 17 before they leave.
Got it. And who are we delivering this to in Faerun?
there is a dragonborn by the name of Breckel.
Okay.
They work for. They work for what's the name of the dragon again?
Drakal?
Drakal.
Breckel is how. Breckel, a dragonborn.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to. You should be able to find him at the chipped scale.
At the chip scale. Okay.
It's an inn.
All right. We'll get your item to Brickell. Safe and sound.
Good. Now, not to put too much finer detail on it, but perhaps it's best you're not seen leaving. And he makes a motion, and this one particular book goes, and this door, classic bookshelf, opens up behind, revealing a small, you actually have to kind of duck to go through, especially Gex, a small hallway on the far side. It should lead you out near the slums.
Are there any traps?
There shouldn't
Dave's
be.
paranoid.
Nothing on your way out.
Alright.
Nothing explodes as we leave.
No? You leave the study or office. You wind your way through. It's relatively easy. There's an acolyte who joins you at one point. Kind of comes padding in after you're about 15 feet in, carrying a lantern. This human guy. He's like, I'm supposed to take you. And he starts
All right.
leading you through. And after a little while, you get the idea that you've headed down several flights of stairs, and you end up pretty far down, and you were pretty much on ground, second floor, and now you've gone down like 5 stories down. So you're definitely underground, leading through, and you see these walkways open up on either side in various intervals, and it would definitely be easy to get lost down here. And at one point, you open up and you see the ceiling stays the same height, so you're kind of ducking most of the way down, and then you see these, it opens up to be a good 40-50 feet on either side, and there are these regular placed pillars and no other light source. And so as you're walking through, the lantern lights just like only extending out so far and casting these and the pillars are probably about 20-30 feet apart, and there are dozens of them as you go walking underneath whatever this building is that you are currently under. And then right back on, and the path you're walking is actually indented in the ground. And Hilda points out that it's been worn by steps. And she kind of goes to, she's like, oh, what's that over there? And the acolyte's like, don't go off the path.
Don't tell me what not to do.
You can leave the path if you want to. Do you want to leave the path?
No.
Hilda's
No,
like,
I'm
she
tempted,
looks
but
up
I'm
at
not
you
going-
and she's like,
No, keep following the guy. I am
You-
very tempted, but no.
okay. You keep on going, and boom, the little worn path goes right back into this low tunnel, and wind for a while, and then after a bit, you come out, and there's this kind of metal, almost like corrugated, but not quite, but like kind of metal and some refuse and some boards and stuff, and the acolyte kind of starts to try to get it out of the way. Seems to be having a hard time with it. Puts down his lantern. Tries to roll up his sleeves, trying to push this barrier out of the way. He doesn't seem to be able to get it. He's actually a little bit embarrassed. So usually, he's having a hard time opening. Anybody want to help him?
All right, man. Performance
Give me a hand.
anxiety hits the best of us.
I mean, we could go back
Yeah.
to that place you told us not to.
I'll help him out.
You don't
just
leave
gonna
the path. All right. So Dave, do a strength check for me.
Oh, come on.
It's a lot. They piled a lot here.
Oh boy.
Anybody else want to give a hand?
I will help
Dwarves. Okay.
to give someone advantage.
Sure.
If I have to, I guess.
I'll help Gex. I'll give Gex advantage.
So you all dig in, and you start pushing. I need some rolls. Let's with advantage, Gex. 19, nice. And Hilda decides to help too. Hilda taps you on the shoulder, Rook, and motions. And there's you can see, there's this little latch, like a oversized hook latch in the corner.
Yep.
It's pretty well disguised. And Hilda points towards it. And then you point it out to Gex, and Gex just goes, whoop, and the whole thing's
I just look at the guy.
he kind of blushes. Don't leave the. All right. He picks up the lantern, leads you the last way through, and after a while, you end up coming out into like boulders and bushes, and then you come out in this little crevice down at the base of near one of these cliffs that's on kind of the seedier section of town, and you come out in what appears to be somebody's run-down ass backyard, and it's just like, okay, half falling down house, full neighborhood, and you're back. You have a pretty good idea of where you are, Rook. It's not as bad as the neighborhood where you grew up, but it's not much better. So you find your way back into the city, and the acolyte kind of gives you a nod and turns around and walks back into the little crevice that you guys crawled out of.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the others. I'm gonna say, we need to be careful. We should not go back to the same inn tonight. We should stay somewhere else. Did you guys leave anything there?
No, no, it's all packed in a trunk. There's no reason I need to go back there right now.
Recognized us? I'm just saying.
It was the boy. Must be the boy.
Maybe.
A little snotty bastard.
Yeah, we should stay somewhere else. Do you agree?
Yeah, I never trust them.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
Good in town. Where's good here?
Yeah, we can go stay somewhere else instead of the Wild Buck.
Sure, you think around for a while, and you're like, where are you not likely to go to? Well,
Yeah,
Gex,
basically.
you're known not to go to a particular place because, well, one of the people who is standing there doesn't like you. But the doorman doesn't mind you.
Yeah, what was that place? What was it called?
The Swan.
The
The
Swan.
Jaws.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Duck, but it's the Swan. Let's go to the Duck.
I
Swan.
knew you were going to do that. All right. So you all head over to the Duck, and fortunately, Toby, no, what's his name? Torben is on the door, and with a well-placed, he's kind of like,
Hey man, you're back.
Yeah, I brought you a box.
Hey,
Everyone needs a box
thank you. I like box.
Yeah.
That's
for
awesome.
chicken.
nice. I don't have a chicken, but I could get one.
Yeah, and if you get one, Put it in there.
If I get one, and he leans in, I'll name him after you. Especially when I eat him. And he kind of shoulder pokes you. And he was gonna ask you for a bribe to let you in, but he'll take the box.
Okay. Because we're gonna go into like the in part, like the nicer part, right? No,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
jaws.
Yeah, so you stay on the above part, and you head on in, and Tillman wasn't here last time either. So you guys head on in. It's that same entryway where you saw before, kind of lower section, and then a couple steps up, and you see the bar, and the barkeep looks at you, and Gex just kind of rolls you. This person's like, if you're gonna stay here, it could be trouble, so I'm gonna ask for payment in advance, and I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be double.
So how much is double?
That'll be 10 gold. And you
For
know
a
who
real
better
fun-
not find out you're here, Gex.
I take that personally.
You should.
Well, so should she. Anyway. That should all be water under the bridge. But yeah,
All's fair, you know. All's fair.
technically caustic acid on the bridge, but again.
Not my
Well-
business.
We'll take 4 rooms.
That'll be 40 gold.
No. Guys. We're gonna
We'll
take
take
one or
1
two.
room.
We'll take one room.
All right, you guys are led up some switchback stairs, down some hall, and actually the room they take you to is not that fancy. It's got 4 beds in it, but it is like, actually, you look up expecting to go to the fancy rooms in the upstairs, and instead the guy's like, right, come with me. And he starts leading you down past the kitchen and like this little hallway. I don't know if the map is revealing any of this to you.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Not really.
Okay, so they lead you through, and it's this better part of this common area at the back of,
Oh, I see.
of the main floor. And
Okay.
and they take you through this one, almost like a hostel room, and
Yeah.
and then he unlocks this double door and takes you through into this back room. It's got 5 beds, and he's like, right,
Who's paying the 10 gold again?
he
We
is,
each-
and points at Gex.
I'll give
Alright.
Gex a couple of gold for me.
Right, shitters down the hole.
We'll
Okay.
sort that out.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have accommodation at the Swan, and as as the bartender's closing the door, he looks at Gex and he's like, "No, seriously, don't be seen by you know. I'll give you the 4 knock if she's in the building, and you stay here. She wouldn't be caught dead in this room, on account." And then as he's leaving, he mutters something. Does anybody have passive perception over 15?
Yep.
So as the innkeep's like turns around to like, she wouldn't be caught dead in here, on account of all the bed bugs.
Oh. I'm gonna tell, like, when he closes the door, I'm gonna tell the others what he just said.
Well, that's mildly disconcerting.
Oh, so he's charging us double for the extermination fee he's gonna be doing? It's awesome.
Does either of you have a spell of cleansifying or anything like that?
Do you have a spell of raid?
Nah, man. No, only mending. Or Toll the Dead. Can I Toll the Dead on bed bugs?
You could certainly try.
I will Toll the Dead.
You
Bed
look
bug.
to your bed, and it's just like You don't know if it's your imagination or what, but you're pretty sure you see the sheets are moving a little bit, and this is straw mattress underneath, just wrapped in a cloth, and you're just like, and you hear this dolorous boom. Oh, here I had a sound. I had a sound effect for that as you told the bed. All right. Where is it? It's here
So
somewhere. Here you go.
wisdom 12 saving throw for your bed bugs.
The
We
whole
make
room
bed
like
bugs do a saving
sonorously
throw.
bounces with this sound, and you're all just like, "Whoa!" And then the mattress lays still. Well, go ahead and roll your D8. Actually, nah, it's just 1 hit point. So the mattress, yours, is still. The other ones, not so much.
7 necrotic damage.
Oh yeah, it's dead. Nothing's on that bed. Toll the bed.
Toll the bed.
Love it.
Oh man.
All right. Well, it is time, unfortunately, for us to wrap up our adventure for tonight. You guys all settle into the Swan undisturbed. Gex, I'm going to need you to do a stealth check for me. Because at one point, you hear 4 knocks on the door.
Bed bug,
18.
wonder bed bug.
18. All right. So anytime you have to leave the room, you're just careful. And at one point, you do sneak your way out to the bathroom, and you kind of peek through these kind of what are they called? The twisting lattices that you put on stairs. Spindles. That's the word. Takes a little while. Lag in my brain. So you're just going from the bathroom down to your room, just super stealthy, and you're not spotted. But you do catch a glimpse, and you hear a sound that could be her voice, just in the common room. It's fairly busy in there, and do you sneak a look, or do you just keep going?
He's totally gonna sneak. He's gonna like put one eye around the corner as stealthily as possible.
Sure. Do a perception check for me. The 18 from the stealth is holding.
Yeah, okay. Perception. 15.
15? All right. Yes, you do see the woman that you're not really supposed to see. It's been a while. It has been a while. Who do you see, sir?
Wait, who do I see?
Well, I figured it's somebody that Torben works for, and a couple of the people work for. But otherwise, this is your hanging thread, my friend. Acid.
Oh, I'm having COVID brain fog right now.
It's okay. You can just make something up. I'm thinking you see...
I know who it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's my ex-wife. Definitely.
Oh, damn, man.
Damn.
Yeah, she's really, really angry because I got the 3 kids. Yeah, they chose to stay with me, and ever since then, anytime she gets a wind of me, she's a little bit crazy. Tries to come after me.
Yeah.
Mark.
And you're just peeking
would too.
through.
Where the fuck are your 3 kids?
It's Tammy. Oh, my kids they're grown
Yeah,
up. They're
he's
out doing their own
65.
thing. They're in their mid-30s.
They're off having adventures of their own now. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's been a while since you've seen her.
Yeah.
And
Oh, Tammy. Tammy.
she, you know what? She just still knows how to run a room.
I'm scared and horny.
Well, are you gonna do the wise thing and sneak back to your room? Or are you gonna, for half a heartbeat, you're like, Do I go out there?
Roll the dice.
No, he's gonna sneak back to his room. He's actually on. If he wasn't on the job,
And you actually say that. You just mutter it to the spindles that you're peeking through. And then you head
he'll
back to your
actually
room.
like hold one spindle and look at it. I wasn't on the job. Sneak back to the room.
All right. Well, as he goes back and rubs one out, the rest of you get a good night's sleep, and we will awaken to adventure next time. Thanks very much, everybody. What?
Wait.
I'm not sleeping.
Oh, right. Yeah. So everybody else, you're just sitting in the corner looking at this crawling bed.
I'm actually, before we close, I'm actually going to use a short rest to swap out to Arcana
Absolutely.
and just start. But I'm not gonna true to my word. I told the truth. I'm not gonna try to decipher anything with the globe, but the other items. Like, what
of
are
course. Yeah. So go ahead and do an Arcana check.
they? Okay. 20 plus 3. Ooh, not great. 8.
Well, if it weren't for labels, you would be completely lost.
Yeah.
So, I guess
you know
I'll
what?
go...
I will use my last, since we're settling down. I'm just gonna use my last ability of knowledge of a past life, and just like Kat's telling me stuff
Sure.
as she's going through things, and I'm like, oh yeah. Not sure how well that'll help, but
You know you're
14.
holding that upside down, right?
exactly. I'm like, oh.
You turn it over, and suddenly the runic language becomes clear.
Clear. I'm like 14.
Yeah. So 14's good enough. You can diffuse you can discern what they are. So you get 4 potions of healing, and an extra large potion of water breathing that would have several, like, actually, sorry, 5 potions of healing.
5
One of
potions
the
of healing.
scrolls is a scroll of water breathing. One of the
Okay.
scrolls is a spell scroll. There's several spell scrolls. Water breathing. You have another one that is disguise self. And the third one is going to be charm person.
Ooh.
These are the ones we took from.
From the box.
And then what about the dagger, the cloak, the ring, and the bracers?
So the dagger is going to be, and I'm blatantly stealing this one because who wants to retrieve a goddamn dagger? So it's a dagger +1. It's a fine blade, but if it's used as a throwing weapon, you can spend your reaction to to have it go bam back to your hand. It's like a throwing hammer that returns, but it's just like disappears and reappears in the sheath.
Okay.
Yes, I'm blatantly stealing with that one, and I'm okay with that because you might as well steal from the best.
Mhm.
That's Gex's motto. To be fair.
Yeah.
Steal from the best.
Okay.
All right.
And then what about the others? The cloak, the ring, and the bracers?
The cloak is the cloak of the Mountebank.
Cloak of the what?
Mountebank. I think I'm saying that right.
BACH.
It's a known D&D item.
Okay.
Cloak of the Mountebank. Mountebank. Cape of the Mountebank. I'm sorry, it's a cape. I misspoke. Cape of the Mountebank. It's a rare item, and that does not describe it at all. What the? Come on. Okay, you pull it up. It's dark burgundy, maybe red, and it smells faintly of brimstone. While wearing it, you can use it to cast Dimension Door as an action. It can't be used again until the next dawn. When you disappear, you leave behind a cloud of smoke, and you appear in a similar cloud of smoke at your destination.
Nice.
Wow.
And what else was there?
A ring and bracers.
The ring is just a ring of protection +1.
Okay.
And the bracers were going to, I forget what they were going to be, so I'll have to look that up. Those ones, this is where your 14 comes in. You're like, I can't read that. I took some runic, and that one I don't know what that one says, and none of your party can figure it out right now because I need to look it up.
Okay.
And so you can decide who gets what if you like. In the meantime, while we're doing all that, interweebs, and players, we need the name for tonight's episode. We're going a little into overtime. So tonight's episode title. So you guys can argue how you want to distribute those if you want.
We can talk about that after.
Sure.
Yeah, we talk.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be talking much, man. I'm going straight to bed.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, we do need a name for tonight's episode. And you guys are welcome to make suggestions too. If you want. Pardon?
I was gonna say bed bugs and beyond, but that says too focused on the end.
You can't.
Oh, I'm like brain fogging myself. I'm usually
Brain
pretty good
fog.
at this.
Brain fog.
Brain fog.
It's spelled F-U-G as well. Just fug.
Yeah.
All right, we need a name. It's got to be better than brain fog. Internet, this is your chance. You can beat Gordon.
This is your chance, Internet.
It never happens. That's me typing, by the way.
I mean,
Brain fog.
After
What else
party.
happened? After party?
After party, a job.
All right.
After party explosives. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I think I got one. Explosive brain fug.
Yeah. Hey,
Sure.
All right, there it is.
All
Explosive
right.
brain fug. Brought to you by Explosive Brain Fug.
Brought to you by post-COVID syndrome.
Do you think too clearly? Do you need to forget things in your life that you'd rather not recall? Do you need to just have a general sense of doom and anxiety instead of knowing specific things you need to worry about? What you need is brain fug. From the people who brought you
Influenza. And
Because systemic not remembering, constant wondering, what am I doing here?
and anal seepage.
Bitch. Oh my
All right.
god.
Well, thanks
Yeah,
for
brought
watching.
to you
Thanks
by
for
the
playing.
makers of Olestra.
And Band-Aid brand. No, by the way, we are not sponsored by any of these real places. They're wonderful products, and yeah, don't sue us. Anyway, thanks very much, everybody, for playing. It was fun. I wasn't sure where we were going to go with this, and you guys rolled the dice, and you ended up going to C, but not before explosive brain fug. You got brain fugged. You got explosively brain fugged. Bleh. I can't even. I'm done. All right. Good night, guys. And good night, Internet. Be good
Have
to
a good one.
yourselves.
peace out.
Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Stay safe. Take care. And for God's sakes, wear a condom. And other things. Anyway, bye-bye, everyone. I don't know. I'm tired. Good night. Well, they should. Those filthy buggers, they go from port to port.